Hi everyone, how's everyone doing here today? Thank you for watching. It's a nice morning here. No sun, it's even, you can't tell, a slight drizzle here, but hey, it's a nice morning either way, so. How's everyone doing today? Well, the big beautiful bill, or BS bill I should say, has gotten passed, so looks like in due time there's going to be nice tax cuts for the wealthy, good for them, but for a lot of us there's going to be serious cuts to Medicaid and Medicare, along with SNAP benefits and other benefits that greatly help the working class. So some on the MAGA side aren't too thrilled about that, and some feel they've been duped, and there are some that still support Trump. As always, their support is stronger than ever, and I can't fully wrap my head around that one. So I'm going to respectfully ask a question to the Trump voters out there, and I'm really being serious, and that is, where are you going with all this? What is the end goal here? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? What are you hoping to get out of that? I know that's several questions, but it all pretty much amounts to the same thing. You've got this unwavering support of Donald Trump, and it's like, no matter what he does, and this is not an easy thing, which I kind of sympathize with MAGA about this, is that it's this constant switching gears, all the hypocrisies, all the contradictions, where it's whatever Trump's flavor of the month is, you just got to go along with it, you know. He says he's going to bring the price of eggs down, and he doesn't bring it down, and then he makes up some excuse, and you guys turn around and you make an excuse as well. You say, well, it takes some time, you got to go some pain in order to gauge that pleasure point out there. Gas prices don't change, similar excuses and stuff like that. At one point you guys used to say, oh, he's the no wars president, no wars ever happened on him. Well, lo and behold, look at what happened in Iran. Now all of a sudden it's like, well, that's a show of strength and everything and stuff like that. You got Elon Musk saying like getting rid of waste and fraud and all this other stuff, and yet he decides to throw himself a military parade back on the 4th of July, which was what, $50 million? And that doesn't seem wasteful to you? No, I had some MAGA friends say to me, oh, he's just doing it to honor the troops. No, he isn't. Come on. Same lies, it's just the day changes, and whatever the new lie is or whatever the new thing is, you guys give them a break. So I'm saying is, as far as the working class goes, for you, especially in red states, what are you getting out of all this? Where is it taking you? Because I was talking with some friends yesterday, one was from Pennsylvania and has family there that are, you know, diehard Trump supporters and everything. And the way she described it is that the psychology is you always have to be right, no matter what. And I don't mind talking to Trump supporters, although some of them I've cut off because at one point it was just total mockery. Like anything I did, any protests I attended, anything, any point I tried to pose, they would just put laughing emojis, that's it. Or make some smart mouth remark. Nothing intelligent to say, not trying to put up a friendly debate, or not trying to make, you know, a simple point, but just, you know, I'm going to bash you no matter what. I can't talk to people like that. But if there are some that are willing to listen and debate things and present evidence, then I'm all ears. But even when I present evidence to them, as my friend said, they always got to be right, so there's always going to find an excuse for that and everything. Okay? The price of groceries didn't go down. You didn't get those cheaper eggs and everything. Maybe there's been some fluctuation. One friend told me he got rid of inflation altogether. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. And these trade wars aren't panning out and everything. Farmers are getting hurt. And the people that are like using the videos I see of F around and find out, a lot of people are all outraged like, I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know that was... Yes, you did. To the farmers out there, he did the same thing in his first term. He did a bunch of tariffs and you guys got him impacted. He said he was going to do it again. So lo and behold, it's happening. Wow, he told the truth. Now you guys are getting hurt and you're surprised? You voted for this. The Latinos for Trump, mass deportations, and that too is also having a negative impact. To say nothing about Gestapo-like ICE raids and everything, it's hurting smaller businesses because workers aren't showing up to work anymore because they're afraid of, you know, the ICE raids and stuff like that. How's that helping America? You know, the trade wars aren't working out and everything. 90 deals in 90 days. He's only gotten like one deal, maybe two, I think it is. I'm not exactly sure. And which country did it? And yet he's out there saying, oh, these countries are calling me up and kissing my ass. I'm like, no, they're not, you lying sack of meat. Nobody's kissing your ass. If anything, our view on the world stage is not good. And I've got friends in other countries that I've talked to. And just like the first term, even more now, their reaction, especially world leaders, are kind of the same thing, where they're just shaking their head, rolling their eyes, and sometimes just outright laughing at his buffoonery. That's a simple truth, okay? I know you guys don't want to hear that or accept that, but that is the simple truth. It eventually boils down to, what are you doing? What are you getting out of this, okay? If there's nothing benefit going on, if there's things happening that you don't like, oh, I almost forgot, the Epstein files, yeah. Got that client list right here on the desk, says Pam Bondi. Now all of a sudden, oh, it's just a file, now it's no nothing. Trump's like, we need to move on and everything and stuff like that. I guarantee if Biden's name or Hunter, whether Hunter or Joe, was on that list, oh, we would have seen that months ago. And it would be nonstop. Fox would be going nuclear. And then you have the recent floods. And some of the people in Texas voted for that. I'm not saying that in a way where I say, well, they get what they deserve. If anything, I sympathize. They should get the help they need. They should get the FEMA aid. You think the Trump administration is going to take responsibility about all the Doge cuts, thinking that this didn't contribute to that? And I would only be speculating if I said that if he hadn't made the cuts, that nobody would have died. That I don't know for sure. I don't think that would happen. I'm sure there would have been some casualties, but it potentially could have been considerably less had they had the warning, had they had the staff there to say, hey, we're anticipating floods, you guys need to evacuate. But here we are now, and nothing changes. And then in due time, from what I've heard, according to the big beautiful bill, the Medicare cuts aren't supposed to go into effect till after the midterms. I wonder why that is. Some of you people, I'm sorry, you seriously need to wake up, because if you're not getting anything out of this, if you're getting hurt by all this, where does that leave you? Okay? Let's say for 1 minute there are no tax cuts, but there are cuts to Medicaid and Medicare. As many have pointed out, Republicans said that. There are all these bad things in the bill, but they voted for it anyway. What do they care? They've got their salary, they've got their health benefits that aren't going to be impacted. You, on the other hand, will not be so fortunate. But a wealthy person doesn't have to worry about that. Donald Trump and his family, they don't have to worry about that. If there are cuts to Medicare and Medicaid that you might be on, and you get seriously ill, or you already have a serious illness, you're no longer going to be able to get the care that you need. It's going to negatively impact hospitals, which could potentially shut down. Supposedly it's already happening. If that happens in your area, and then you're relatively young, but one day you get sick, or you get into a serious accident, well, your hospital may not be a 10 or 15-minute drive. It might be a 1-hour drive, and that can negatively impact you. Eventually, this can negatively impact all of us. Red states are going to probably take the bigger hit. And I'm not saying that to say that blue is better or that they're more deserving. I'm just saying, red states statistically haven't been doing as well. Don't take my word for it. Check for yourself. I'm not saying this as a way to put down red states. I'm just saying Trump and the Republicans that voted for this big, beautiful bill have it in for you. And it's just like I talked about the mentality of greed, where they just want to enrich themselves. It has nothing to do with the dollar amount, because they got plenty of money. They just figure, hey, if we can enrich ourselves some more, do another power grab at your expense, that's what they're going to do. It's time and time again, Trump has shown he does not care about the working people. He does not care anybody. He only cares about Trump. That is the fatal flaw in MAGA, because it's about worshiping one person. It's got nothing to do with patriotism. It is as un-American as can be. Yeah, I'm saying Donald Trump is not a patriot. Not necessarily you guys. I think you believe you're patriots, or your actions are patriotic by what you're doing, but the end result says otherwise. So where does that leave you? When you lose your health care benefits, Daddy Donald Trump is not going to come and save you. If you find yourself in a serious jam health-wise, Daddy Trump is not going to come and save you. If you lose your SNAP benefits and your children are now going hungry, your Daddy Trump is not going to save you. I hate to say that in a sarcastic way, but it's the truth. So eventually you have a choice, Ask yourself one thing. What do you get out of this in the end? And so far from what I see, you get nothing, you lose. But the wealthy, they're the ones that reap the benefits. And that's up to and especially including Trump. And he'll just expect you to buy some more of his merchandise, which if you look at the labels, it probably says made in China or some other foreign country, anywhere but the USA. America first, baby, right? With the midterms coming, I strongly suggest to you not to forget. And remember, and look at what's going on in your state, in your community, and things like really improving under the leadership that you currently have, specifically the Republican leadership. And if they're the ones that supported the bill, the people in your area, your local representatives, you got to ask yourself, are they looking after my and my family's best interests? Especially if you have kids. I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about that. But these, impacts on Medicare and Medicaid in the long run could definitely impact me in some shape or form. I'm not immune from this. So you guys got to ask yourselves when the time comes, if they're not looking at your best interests, vote them out. I've got a few in my area, and I've already got my targets on them, or encouraging others who are outside my district to say they're not helping us. They need to go. And that even includes some Democrats who I feel aren't doing the job. That's something else I've said. You can support MAGA and be entertained by Donald Trump and some of the stupid things Republicans do, but in the end, it is about policy. And some of the guys, you're going to complain, oh, he's interested in policy. Damn straight! Because that's what I vote for them to do a job. And if they're not doing the job, they need to get voted out. And I know some of you are going to turn around and say, well, who is this guy? It's not about me. You can make jokes about my looks or call me the whiny liberal snowflake, whatever. I don't care about the name calling. Again, it's not about me. It is about the country as a whole. And as I've said before, I'm not trying to say this to get on a high horse. I'm trying to point it out in hopes that some of you might get the message and take action come the midterms. Because if you don't, if you're going to repeat the same thing, then the same bad things are going to happen. And we're barely through year one. What's going to come after the next 3 years? And that's assuming this guy even lives forever. Donald Trump, he's showing his health declining. He's obese. His narcissism and his late night tweets show that he's a little unstable. And he has even shown cognitive failure. I could name a number of gaffes and just say if Joe Biden had done that while he was still the president, you guys would be calling him out as too old, losing it. But when Donald Trump does it, you make excuses. You can make all the excuses you want in the end. But if you lose your Medicare and Medicaid and you lose your benefits, those excuses don't do anything for you. And you ask yourself, what are you getting out of this? Where are you going? So in the end, it just boils down to one simple question. You can look at your community, your state as a whole, and even the country and ask yourselves, if Trump is doing such a great job, why are his approval ratings so down? Is he really doing right by me? Are my constituents, are my representatives in my local area, are they doing right by me? And if the answer is no, you got a serious decision to make. Because in the end, it's about your lives. It's about the lives of America across the country. You can either vote to, keep the oligarchs enriched, keep them wealthy, help Donald Trump make some more money, or you can vote to help the American people, the working class. The wealth tax, though, that could impact the 1%. They don't care. They're going to cry about it. I don't care. They'll still be wealthy. It's the working class I'm focusing on. It's you and your families. And you can hate the messenger or make all the remarks you want, but in the end, is the message off. And if you can make a logical excuse, I'm all ears. Okay? But like I said, when you start to see the negative things happen, which a lot of Republicans themselves have said are going to happen, you're going to ask yourself, what were you getting out of all this? What was the whole point of MAGA? Because its failure is only supporting one man and not country. So you have that choice to make. And I'm really hoping you're making the right one. Not for my sakes, but for your sakes, for your family, and for the country's sake. It's not just about me, okay? We're all in this together, in different ways, different shapes or forms. We're being impacted, but we're still in this together. So I, for one, am not going to support billionaires and millionaires. I'm going to support the actual people that need it. And yeah, if somebody said, you're going to increase your taxes a little bit, Chris, but in doing so, there are families in Arkansas that'll get the health care that they don't have. And I would say, I'm okay with that. It's going to help a family in Texas, because it got seriously impacted in flooding. Some of your taxes are going to help FEMA benefits. I'm okay with that. It's going to help feed some children in Mississippi that a lot of them are living in insecure homes, but those children will get fed. And I will say I'm okay with that because I care about Americans and not oligarchs. So, anyway, thank you for watching. I really hope you understand.